Okay. So down here on 410, April 10th, let's say, we're going to talk about client server with Java. We're going to talk about setting it up. Now, if you're running Windows, you've got the Java runtime environment automatically installed. If you're running a Mac or Linux, you should have the current version of Java installed. And if you're running Windows and you've never installed the Java Developers Kit, the JDK, you kind of need to install that. Yeah, you do need to install that in order to do the Java stuff. So we'll go through some examples tonight. Although you all should have looked at this on the videos by now anyway. But I'm going to go through the highlights of it. And if you don't have it on your XAMPP, can we download it after the fact? For the Mac, I really recommend, well, you can get Tomcat independently, and yes, you can download it after the fact. The problem is it's not tied into the XAMPP control panel, I don't think. I'm not sure XAMPP will recognize it, so you might have to manually start it and stop it outside of XAMPP, which is a little bit of a pain. But, other than that, it should work. And for the Mac, Apache and Tomcat are really two different things. One's a web server with some scripting capabilities built in. That's Apache. And then Tomcat is what we would call sort of a watered-down application server, although it's not so watered down anymore. So you should have both, and they both work together quite well. So I would say get both. And if you've got the full XAMPP, then you should have all that. That's really a good tool. It gives you just about everything you need. The only thing it doesn't give you is what we call integrated development environment to edit the stuff in. For that, you though could use NetBeans or Eclipse are both pretty good. Or what I'm going to use tonight, which is just this Notepad++, which is okay too. I'm going to use that for most of my examples. Maybe next week. I think next week when we get into some more advanced client-server stuff. Let's see, what are we doing next week? I still have to post. Tonight we're just going to do client-server. Next week we're going to look at Java web apps. So for that, I'm going to probably use NetBeans or Eclipse because that requires a more sophisticated development environment than Notepad++ gives you. Okay, so tonight I'm just going to use Notepad++ for what we're going to be doing, and then next week I will introduce probably NetBeans. I kind of like NetBeans a little bit better, and we'll look at how to do that. So that probably should say Java web apps as well as the editor, and then after that we'll be coming back to XAMPP and Notepad++ to learn how PHP can interface with MySQL as well. So we'll take a look at that. So the next couple of weeks, we're really going to be looking at a lot of client-server stuff, particularly web apps. And I think we're going to break and go back and look at some data, some other stuff on May 1st. And then I think we're going to go back and we're going to do some more web stuff. So should get interesting. Again, any questions before we get started? Am I going to be talking about import data feeds into MySQL? I thought we talked about import already. I thought we looked at the import-export programs. Did we talk about import-export already? Yeah, right here, chapter 15 was data import-export. So when you talk about feeds, are you talking about you want to import images? Is that what you're saying you want to do? And maybe have them display on a web page, but have them stored in a database in Magento. I'm not sure what that is. The upload download that we'll look at, I'll show you how to do it. You could upload any file and store it into a MySQL database table and download it. I'll show you how to do that, probably in both Java and PHP. And you can also, then if you want to show it up on a web page, that's pretty easy to do too. So I can show you some examples when we get down to here on how to do that. Yeah, so I don't know what Magento is. Is that some sort of database or product or something like that? Okay. All right. Well, we'll do that. Um, oh, it's a shopping cart. Yeah, I've never worked with that before. Um, I've written some of my own shopping carts for work. Um, all right. Any other questions then before we get going? Okay, I'm not seeing any questions. Does everyone know there's a job fair tomorrow at College of San Mateo from 9:30 to 1? I should post that to my website, but I'm just looking at an email, and I'll post the details. But there's a job fair tomorrow at College of San Mateo. Let me make sure it's College of San Mateo. I'll post this on my website, but there's probably information there as well. There's going to be 45 employers with a lot of part-time jobs and internships. So you might want to, if you're looking for a job or an internship, you might want to check that out. And I'll try and get a posting on my website. Although you probably received an email yourselves from the college. It looks like something they just blasted out to everyone. But yeah, just letting you know if you don't know about it, to go ahead and take a look at that. What time is the job fair? It looks like it's 9:30 on the second floor of B10. Does anyone know what B10 is? I don't know what B10 is. Building. Oh, it must be Building 10, second floor. It's like building floor, second floor, 9:30 to 1. Yeah, so go check it out. It could be, you never know. The economy's starting to pick up. Maybe some more job opportunities out there. So if you're interested, go check that out. All right. Um, you're welcome. Okay, so let's see. I'm not seeing any more questions. So we'll probably get started on the client server. Did anyone have any questions before we get started? Any more questions? Any last questions before we get started?